Counselor, there's a raccoon stuck in the vending machine.
That's so annoying. I wanted a snack.
Welcome to Trail Mix.
Our mini episodes from Camp Counselors podcast.
Each week, the stories come from you, our Camp Shady Birch campers.
We want to hear your juicy gossip,
Top secret confessions,
embarrassing and scary stories,
and sprinkle in our sage counselor advice.
Trail Mix is for the campers.
And God, do we love ya. Hey, happy campers! Welcome back to Trail Mix.
This is our mini episode where we read listener-submitted stories and sweat our asses off while doing it. It is nearly 103 degrees, if I had to say so, with no sense of wind.
I think you're being dramatic. I think it's like 90 right now, but I think the whole world is experiencing like massive heat waves. But this show is on a schedule and we will record in a hot, sweaty cabin for you guys because we love you. I'm going to chug water and just try to get through it.
We do just want to bitch a little at the beginning of this, can't we?
Yeah, let me bitch because I'm annoyed right now because my favorite TV shows have come to a close. I only have one active show that I'm loving right now, and it's RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 9. So good, but like consistently we've been watching Real Housewives of New Jersey and we've entered season 6. And if you're familiar with the show, this is when things take a turn. And if you're not familiar, they basically just changed the entire cast on us like out of nowhere. And every time I put it on to get through it, I don't want to get through it. I turned it off. So I'm contemplating every single day if we should just turn it off and or skip to the season. Like, is it that bad to skip the season? I feel like it is.
Maybe we'll just get the Cliff Notes, cliffnotes.com/
SparkNotes.
Sparknotes.com. Why? I use Cliff Notes.
Oh, you didn't use SparkNotes?
I think in high school I used SparkNotes. I don't think SparkNotes was a thing. Cliff Notes, they had like physical copies.
Oh, I'm a man of the digital age.
Oh, yeah. See, that's where my age is showing. But yeah, we'll definitely have to look it up because this is maybe the third time we've given it a shot. This is not the first time we've talked about it on the podcast, but we can't get through it. It's just like, I'm so uninterested of these boring girls.
It's just hard when you love a show and it starts to shift on you. And speaking of that, I was also watching Sex and the City on Netflix, even though we have HBO Max, but I just like prefer to watch it on Netflix. And we started like at season 5 because we've seen it so many times and it was so good. And then you went on your trip last weekend and you were in the mountains and I finished it by myself and I cried the entire time and I was like, whatever, I'm going to restart it from the beginning. And the first season of that is so garbage too. It's like so weird. All my shows right now, I can't find a good one. I'm just like in this weird, and guys, I'm addicted to television. I can't help it. Okay. It keeps me going, but all my shows are not giving and I'm upset.
What shows should we watch? What shows is everybody watching? And if anybody says House of Dragon, I'm done. I'm done.
You know, also they're going to say Bridgerton, and I feel like I can't get into that, but I think if I tried, I would. But also it's like, I can't get into like the hoopla. You know what I mean? It's the same reason why we don't like House of Dragon. It's too much. Like, it's too much. Take it down a minute. Where's the alcohol? Where's the bitching?
Everybody's like, literally, like, you're watching shitty TV. This is the good TV. And it's a reason that everybody is watching it. I don't know. Maybe I would consider Bridgerton. Maybe
this is our moment because it's still really hot right now. And like, we have nothing else to watch.
Yeah. What can we do? If we go outside, we're going to melt and stick to the ground like a little nasty piece of bubble gum.
Yeah. Okay. Let us know in the comments below what we should watch. But speaking of good content, another episode of Trail Mix is here. And we have a fabulous group of stories to talk to you about. I have a camper whose eyes were maybe a little too locked in on the prize.
I've got a hot dog slinger banned from the ballpark.
Oh, I have a camper whose potential homecoming invite took an unexpected turn.
And a sleepover sneak out gone wrong.
Let's get into it. This is a really big secret. Thank God we're on a body of water. This is Confession Canoe. Welcome back to Confession Canoe, campers. You know the drill. You confess to your two fathers, and we tell everybody.
But also forgive you.
Yeah, forgiveness is a virtue, and we do our best.
Very virtuous on this podcast.
Let me get into it.
Let's do it.
Hey, camp counselors. My story is from when I was a younger preteen during the Lisa Frank era and when soother necklaces were all the craze.
What's soother necklaces?
I don't know if that was a typo because when I typed it in, a soother necklace was like a binky.
Oh.
No, I know, but the reason why I kept it, I was like, oh, Jonathan will definitely know because if this is like so your era.
No, I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's a typo. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think she was having a binky, but Camper, if you might want to correct that in the comments because I wanted to keep it in because this is your story, but I am confused. Just then, Claire's debuted their silver dolphin jewelry line. And I was like, hell yeah, bitch, mom, get the car. So we go to the mall on a Saturday morning, and I'm screaming in the backseat of the van as my mom is in the parking lot, yelling, Mom, I have to get there fast. They're going to sell out. I love her screaming in the backseat, laughing out loud now as if they would sell out, but that's how my 12-year-old brain worked. We get inside the mall, and there is the bright colored Claire's logo, and I see it from what felt like 80 feet away. The mall was insanely busy, and all I could think about was running towards Claire's and ripping that last pack of silver dolphin studs from some other girl's hands. So I tell my mom I'm going to walk fast towards Claire's and leave her and my older sister in the dust.
In her head, it's like that. Did you ever see the movie Jingle All the Way? With the
A long
Christmas
time ago, I
one?
don't really remember.
Where everybody's like ransacking the toy shop. Like that's what's going on in her head. And I've had that feeling too. But then you get there and it's like not that case.
I feel like back in the day it kind of was. Now we have like Amazon, I guess.
Oh, that's true.
But when I was working at Old Navy during like the last of the insane Black Fridays in the early 2010s, like people were ransacking Victoria's Secret. Like people were buying in mass quantities when they thought things were going to sell out. She said, I lied. I ran full force through the crowds and it felt like a marathon, but nothing was going to get in my way. Just when I'm approaching Claire's, I suddenly ran into what felt like a brick wall. It wasn't. It was a poor old woman who then came tumbling down and stayed down.
Oh no, not Gam Gam.
Just then I hear, Mom! And I see a woman running towards her mother, the elderly lady laying on the ground. I froze. I felt like my heart was in my ass. I didn't know why I didn't help her up, but I was just so scared and confused.
Our camper is in shock right now.
She knocked an elderly woman on the ground in front of Claire's, and her daughter, who was like her mom's age, was, Mom!
Oh yeah, this is second generation we're talking here.
Yeah, it is.
Third, probably.
And not her with her arms crossed like this. Like, how did Claire's completely have the mind control over me to where I couldn't see anything else when I was running like Forrest Gump towards the store? Just then, I turn around and there is my sister and my mother, who, if you know Portuguese mothers, gave me the look of, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. She runs to the woman and helps her up as her daughter held the other arm of the old woman.
At this point, the camper's like, you guys got it. Like, she only has two arms. Like, what am I going to do?
Exactly. She's like, I'm still there, frozen. The whole mall is staring at us. And it looks like, although stunned and maybe a little sore, the woman seemed to be okay. I love you. You're like, well, listen, I'm a doctor at this point, and she seems fine. She can walk. She can put weight on it. My mother apologizes profusely, as did I, and I started to cry in shame.
Oh,
now it's all hitting her.
Yeah, and now you're making it about yourself. So there's that.
After some time passed, we walked around the mall. I was still thinking about those earrings. But my mom said she refused to buy me anything because of what happened.
It was an accident. But honestly, like, was this lady hiding behind a fern and pop out?
I think it was like, okay, back to what I was saying before. It was a different time. Like, malls were crazy. She probably like just came around a corner too quickly and just hit her. You know what I mean? Like, malls aren't. Actually, we were in the mall the other weekend and it was pretty busy then. And it's like a younger girl. She was blindsided. She had her blinders on, truly.
Maybe the old lady was coming out of sharper image.
Yeah, exactly.
She needed a sharper image.
Well, our camper was so angry. Why does my luck have to be this way? Although now, looking back, I realize that I was not the unlucky one in the whole situation. I could have broken her hip. Anyway, we went home. Weeks later, it was my 13th birthday, and my mom had family over and some friends for a barbecue. My friend Stella had the dolphin earrings. She wore them to the party. What a bitch, I thought.
What a bitch.
Because she knew what happened, and that was a slap in the face.
Oh my God, on her birthday, she knew?
She knew, and she showed up in the prize coveted.
Push that bitch in the pool.
When it was time to open gifts, I opened my mom's, only to see that she got me clothing. Great, I thought. But then I saw a little box in the bag as well.
No.
I was shaking. I opened it, and there they were. Shiny little dolphin studs. I was so excited. They came in a pack of 8. I looked closely at the pack and saw there was a missing pair. I asked my mom where they went, and she said it was the last pack they had, and it looked like someone might have stolen a pair, but that she knew I really wanted them, so she bought the pack anyways.
Why'd you be the friend who showed up with the earrings and she was the one who stole it from the package?
Our camper says, I could have been my selfish, ungrateful 13-year-old self, but instead I hugged her and was super happy.
Honestly, kudos.
What a ride. Tweenhood is crazy. Anyways, love you guys. Sincerely, the bull in the china shop in cabin 13.
What a whirlwind. I'm so glad she got her dolphin earrings.
I love at the end, she was like, listen, I could have been a bitch about it, but I wasn't. So, like, give me some credit here. I'm not all bad.
Amber, you're a brat, and
Yeah,
I love you.
She is in her brat era, a la Charlie XCX.
Yes.
And listen, it's a brat summer. Honestly, Charlie XCX would love this story. Was it Charlie? I thought it was so funny because, like, they were never going to sell out, and you screaming in the mall parking lot to pull up faster because they're going to sell out and running away from her parents is so me.
This episode of Camp Counselors is sponsored by BetterHelp. I love social media. I could be scrolling for hours just giggling and sending videos to fellow counselors and friends. But sometimes I end up comparing myself to others and what they post online, which is totally not productive since social media posts are a highlight reel and comparison is the thief of joy. But we're human. Sometimes we can't help it. But therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have so you can start living your best life. Personally, I have learned so much in therapy. Not only did I learn how to set boundaries and form better relationships with others, but I also learned how to focus on me. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's done entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/camp to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/camp.
Well, do you have another confession canoe for us?
I do have a confession canoe.
Ooh.
Okay. Hi, counselors.
Hi.
Just wanted to say I'm a huge fan and always look forward to Wednesdays now because of you guys. Your podcast helps with my long commute to work. I love you. Love that for you. Anyway, today's confession is a good one, so buckle the fuck up. She didn't say that, but I did. The summer between 2nd and 3rd grade, we're really throwing it back here, I attended a summer camp with other kids in the same school district as me. It was held at one of the elementary schools in the district. One day a week, we would go on a field trip, usually to the zoo or the arcade. But this day in particular, we went on a field trip to a minor league baseball game. It was a weekday around 1, and it was blazing hot outside.
Oh.
So not a lot of people were at the game.
Did you ever go to one of those?
I did.
What was your local, like, minor league team called?
There was the Schaumburg Flyers, which is confusing because the Philadelphia Flyers, but they were Flyers like pilots from what I recall. Oh, the Kane County Cougars. Anybody from Kane County out there? Shout out, shout out.
That sounds like a group of women who go to, like, the dance hall every weekend.
The Kane County Cougars. Look out, here they come.
Kane County Cougar alert.
And they're walking with canes.
Oh my God, they're walking in cheetah and leopard with red lipstick on and body mist.
Just be careful at the mall. Someone will run into you.
Oh my God, they hate them all. They only like the outlets.
Did you have minor league?
Yeah, we had the Paw Sox.
The what?
The Pawtucket Paw Sox, and they were so fun and cute. And it was like definitely something that kids do. Like that's like a really cheap activity for like a summer camp because I definitely did that as well. Also with my youth group, and the mascot was like a polar bear. And it was like the Red Sox, but the Paw Sox, and they're in Pawtucket.
Oh, like PAW. Okay.
Not like peepaw.
Well, I really, honestly, it didn't sound like English when you were saying it.
No, I know. But you said schlong something. So I was confused.
Schaumburg was the place.
Okay. Well, that also doesn't sound like English. That sounds German.
It might be. I don't know.
Well, all that to say is I always enjoy them because they're not to be offensive. Okay. That sounds fresh. But like the minor leagues are so low stakes. Like,
yeah, it's like, low stakes. And that's what it is. It's nice. It's relaxing. Same.
Yeah. It's a $20 ticket and good vibes. And you pray that they have some fireworks or something.
Yeah. Or like a t-shirt cannon. Can I get a t-shirt? What's the one in Coney Island? We should go there.
Oh, but honestly, that franchise is pretty like whipping and dipping. They're called the Cyclones.
The Cyclones. I knew it was something.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta go on all night long. Okay. Back to the story. Where were we? Okay. I would say probably about 300 people were in attendance.
Exactly.
It was nice and quiet until our bus pulled up. Like a pack of wild monkeys, we unloaded from the bus, all yelling and screaming and running around like children do. We were all given a hot dog, a bag of potato chips, and a lemonade for lunch. That sounds like a pretty clutch lunch.
Oh my God, I would have that lunch right now.
Now, at the time, I was going through a bit of a picky phase, and hot dog meat grossed me out. Listen, I get it.
Were you ever like a picky eater as a kid?
I didn't really go for, really just how I am now. Like I'm open to like anything except for really meat. I wasn't super into hot dogs. I really didn't love burgers. If it was like a chicken nugget, I was fine.
Yeah, we're both not picky. We're both really not picky. Like, you don't eat meat and you'll always find something on any menu and you never complain ever.
Yeah.
You're like the furthest from a picky eater, which is crazy because you would think that you would be based on your restricted diet, but you always figure it out.
Yeah. And even if I don't like something, like I don't like asparagus to this day, I don't like asparagus.
But you'd always eat it.
But I'll eat it. I like the way it makes my pee smell.
The way that you talk about that more than anybody else, he'll get asparagus, you guys, and we'll make it for dinner. And then afterwards, he's like, oh, gotta go pee. Can't wait to see how it smells. It's like, Jonathan, you don't always have to talk about asparagus pee.
How long does it like make your pee smell?
You should know. You're always testing your theories.
Well, for me, it's like maybe 3 months.
That's a lack of hydration, and we're going to get you to a doctor immediately. Camp Infirmary, here we come.
Back to the story. Okay, where was I? Okay, so I ate the bun, I ate the chips, I drank the lemonade. Why are you gonna eat the bun? What the fuck?
Well, if it's soft.
And it has ketchy on it, a little ketchup.
She didn't say that, you said that.
No, I know. But and she drank the lemonade and put the meat back in the baggie it came in. One of our counselors came around to collect the trash and saw I hadn't eaten the meat. She looked at me and goes, you need to eat that. We don't waste food here. I rolled my eyes and agreed. And then when she wasn't looking, I took it out of the bag and threw it. Only I threw it into the worst place. We were sitting right next to the bullpen and, well, you can probably guess where I threw it. So she's throwing it like on the field. Like they are up close and personal, basically in the dugout. She's chucking it to where they're sitting there eating their big league chew, minor league chew, and, spitting their sunflower seeds. And it landed in a bag of baseballs, which about 10 minutes later, one of the coaches went in to grab a ball, saw the hot dog laying in the bag. Disgusted, he picks up the meat with 2 fingers and yells into the crowd, who did this? Was it those rugrats? Referring to us. Mind you, she's the only person at this summer camp who hasn't eaten their hot dog. So it's very clear who it was here.
She is like probably sitting there. She's between 2nd and 3rd grade, guys. So she's like literally 8 years old. And her hair is like through a little like ponytail, through a little baseball hat. And she's wearing like a little blue t-shirt. And her mouth is like ajar. She's like, oh my God, I'm gagged right now being screamed at by the coach of the baseball team. Wait, first of all, get her on the field because she's got incredible aim.
Yeah.
Hot dog in the bag of balls.
So she's like looking behind her. She's like, who did that?
She's like, that's disgusting, guys. Someone own it.
Seriously. The players that were sitting in the bullpen said something to him. And then he walked over to our group and started yelling at my camp counselors.
Well, yeah, it's honestly, I'm sorry, our camper's 8 years old. You can't yell at the kid. Yell at the adults in charge.
Get that fucking hot dog out of the bullpen.
This wouldn't have happened
had she just let it go.
Who cares? She didn't want to eat the hot dog. She ate the bread. She wasn't complaining. She was like, I don't want meat today. Like, let her be.
Not the counselors blaming the counselors, but we're going to blame the counselor.
Oh, I'm on the camper side.
I don't remember what happened after that, but I know that we never went on a field trip to those games again. Sorry for getting us banned. Oops. Oh, well. Signs the hot dog slinger in cabin 6.
Oh.
I kind of had a similar story to this where I was milking a carrot. I was like pinching a carrot. Someone told me at my table, at my lunch table.
We're going to go back to that. Milking a carrot?
Basically like pinch it. Like they were telling me to pinch okay, sorry.
What are you talking about?
The baby carrots that came at school lunch in like a little baggie because they were like, oh, we're so healthy and, we're a great school district. So I was eating them and you know how they're wet and like slippy?
Yeah, but nothing comes out of them.
No, I was just saying milking because it's just like,
oh, okay. I thought there was something I wasn't getting. So you're just holding a carrot between 2 fingers.
But everybody was like, pinch it. Like, you're not going to believe what happens.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, like thinking it's going to milk or something.
Okay.
So I pinch it and it shoots across the cafeteria.
Oh, yeah. Like a missile.
Yeah, like a missile, like a torpedo, like a carrot being milked. And it hits a kid at another table. And the lunch lady aide, or whatever they're called, absolutely fuming, mega fuming, comes over to the table, makes me get up, and I have to sit at the bad kids table. And she's like, you're going to get detention. You know what they do to kids on detention? You're going to come in on Saturday and wash every single teacher's car. And I'm freaking out. In retrospect, I'm like, you're telling me every single teacher is going to come to school on a Saturday so I can wash their car, bitch?
So the soap dries in the sun and it's like the worst street job ever.
I'm like panicking.
You know what's crazy that you didn't make this connection? You were giving Matilda. You know when she shoots the carrot in the beginning at her brother's mouth and he chokes on it?
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of, Matilda ass.
Oh my God, yeah. I am Matilda ass.
I would have been like, actually, I'm magical and I need to get upgraded to the next level of class because I'm so smart.
But I really didn't mean to. And I was like,
I know you
so
did.
scared I was going to have to stand. And then actually another sidebar, this happened to my grandfather and it was the catalyst for him leaving high school. He was in high school back in whatever year he was in high school.
The 40s?
He just told me the story like last weekend on Father's Day. And this kid at the end of the table was like basically like doing a sake bomb with not sake, with something else. And one of the teachers who hated my grandpa came over and like started cursing out my grandpa when he wasn't the one who did it, but nobody at the table was covering for him. And then the teacher was like, I'm failing you out of my classes. And he left school that day, literally during lunch period, never went back to school.
Wow.
Yeah.
But look at him now. He had a great life.
You did.
I would never waste a hot dog at a game.
No, I know you wouldn't.
I would have ate it out of the ball pit.
He's like, the coach is like, who did this? And you're like, I'll take it.
It's like so annoying because in New Bedford, well, this is annoying. It's great. In New Bedford, where I'm from, there's like all these like competitor hot dog stands, and they're all like $1 a hot dog, and they're all so good. And it's like the perfect like cheap lunch anytime you're out, especially this time of year. And now in Brooklyn, I'm not seeing that. I'm not getting hot dog stands. Okay, like maybe if you're in Times Square at the hot dog cart, but I'm not seeing them over here where I am.
Do you love the Golden Girls?
Then we are so excited to tell you about the Golden Girls Deep Dive Podcast, a hilarious new podcast recapping everyone's favorite sitcom, The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls Deep Dive Podcast is more than just a recap show because they have a full-time researcher on their team. So each episode is packed with fun facts and little-known trivia about the show. And at the end of each episode, the hosts give you a fully researched deep dive into something fascinating from the Golden Girls universe.
For example, remember Coco, the gay chef from the pilot episode? Where did he go? Whatever happened to that actor? The Golden Girls Deep Dive Podcast will give you his whole story, including its unbelievable and truly mysterious ending.
How about this one? Did you know that B. Arthur was a truck driver in the Marines before becoming an actress? Or how about the rumored on-set feud between B. Arthur and Betty White? The Golden Girls Deep Dive team has done the research, and they're going to tell you all about it.
Hosted by true crime-obsessed Patrick Hines and Broadway scene stealer Jennifer Simard, the Golden Girls Deep Dive Podcast premiered at the top of Apple and Spotify's podcast charts just a few weeks ago, and already has hundreds of 5-star reviews.
So grab your cheesecake and head to the lanai as you follow the Golden Girls Deep Dive Podcast wherever you listen.
Scary stories around the campfire.
Welcome back to Scary Stories. Get a marshmallow, put it over that flame. Boo boo, there's a ghost. I'm so scared, I'm spooked. Scary story.
Honestly, encore. Guys, tap that silly little back 10-second button and listen to that baby again.
Welcome back to Scary Stories. These could be spooky, these could be embarrassing. Either way, you will be entertained. Jonathan and I both have stories contributing to this category this week.
It's a double feature.
It's a double feature. I'll go first.
Okay.
Hi there, counselors.
Don't sing the whole thing.
I know, I need to stop. I knew if I was going to bring a tale to Trail Mix, I'd have to pull out the archives and disclose a story so absolutely humbling that not even the parties involved know what happened 6+ years ago. Due to its relevance with the story, I won't be changing my name. My name is Katie. Nice to meet y'all. Time has passed and now I find this cringeworthy moment hysterical. Besides, What's better way to speak my truth than through the camp's PA system?
Also, I love that we're like kind of peeling back the curtain. Like campers are becoming more comfortable because this is the second trail mix in a row where they're like, use my name. I don't care.
Well, this one, once again, it's really relevant to the story.
But for those writing in, we will never use your name unless you give us permission.
Oh, no, I have another one for a different episode that they're like, do not say my name. I'm like, gotcha, girl. So she's going to say this through the camp's PA. So she's telling the story right through the mic. Loudspeaker. It's time. Before we get into it, I'm a huge fan of the podcast and recently brought my reluctant husband to Camp Shady Birch. He's now a full-blown camper. We say, but I want to be Minky more often than I like to admit.
We haven't said that in so long.
But I want to be Minky and Minchie.
Minky and Minchie. Oh, we love them.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I love Disney. I'm ready to go back.
Yeah.
I need to ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Well, Minky and Minchie were from Vegas. Those were the knockoffs, Minky and Minchie.
Were they?
Yeah, I think that's how the story started.
Not Times Square?
Or Times Square. Yeah, there's a Minky and Minchie in Times Square.
I think if you're in the back alleys and you catch Minky or Minchie at Disney World, like they're still there too. Honestly, I think we're Minky and Minchie.
Yeah, we're definitely.
No, that's what it was. It was who we were.
Oh, and you're Minky, I'm Minchie.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Now then. In high school, I was a proud wallflower, but in college, I really came into my own. I was heavily involved on campus and developed a newfound confidence. I was by no means the it girl amongst a pool of 18,000 students, but I know my diehard school spirit and did my best to share it with those around me. This is so interesting to me because I went to a really big college. I went to Rhode Island College, which I think had 10,000 students at all times, but like nobody lived there. Like everybody was a commuter. It was a lot of older, people like going, like their parents or like getting secondary education. I don't know. Like I always wonder what it must be like to live on a campus that like there's 18,000 people there at the same time. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was Temple like that?
I'm trying to find the exact number. The school's huge.
But did everyone at Temple because you were in Philly, right? So what do you think the breakdown of people that were like living there that commuted there?
You were required for the first 2 years to live on campus.
Oh, so then yeah, it's a huge campus life.
Yeah.
Then. Okay. So in a school of 18,000 students, she was known for her diehard school spirit and did her best to share it with those around her. Homecoming was a big deal at our school. Okay? Not a shocker. But what was shocking was me being selected by my peers to represent my favorite co-ed organization as the potential university queen.
Okay.
Like what? That's actually so nice. I interviewed and out of I don't know how many girls, I was chosen to be one of the 5 up for the crown.
Go camper, I'm cheering you on.
They called the top 5 girls and the top 5 guys Royal Court. Very regal. Being on the court came with responsibilities, including required attendance at every pep-inducing event that week leading up to the Hoko football game. Let me be clear that I did not expect to win. I was up against sorority sisters with cult backings and didn't stand a chance. But as the week went on, I began to feel more comfortable with my place among the candidates. They weren't high above me. They were just other people who loved our campus. Okay, so we're like peeling back the layers here. We're figuring out like, hey, we're all on the same playing field. We all love this school. And we're all becoming friends because we're doing so much together as the Royal Court does.
Right. And Kathy from Zeta Kappa Alpha, like, sure, she's hot, but she's not relatable. You are hot and relatable, camper.
I love that. One of the guys I got to know better that was representing his fraternity. I literally don't even remember which one because when you leave college, you have an epiphany that every extracurricular activity that defined you is actually just a made-up construct with Greek letters glued to the side of it in its attempt to create a hierarchical?
Hierarchy?
Yeah.
Hierarchical.
System of labels, and when you graduate, it holds no value or weight in who you are as a person, and you have to rediscover who you are without all the monogram shirts.
Wow, impactful. But also, I will say, I agree with you, camper, but I do know one person in real life who did get a job connection because when they went in for the interview, they name dropped the fraternity they were in, and the hiring director was in the same fraternity.
Well, she said, full disclaimer, I was in a sorority, so I think I'm allowed for that. I think I'm allowed that opinion.
Okay, true.
She goes, or just cut that right now. No, I liked it. I do. Because as someone who didn't go to school that's a bitter bitch about it, it's like you see people in these sororities and like fraternities and they think they're the fucking shit. But guess what? When you graduate, we're all in the same playing field, okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to your friend that did get a job offer, but that is far and few between.
It's true.
At the end of the day, No one cares about Kappa Zeta Pi. It's all about that GPA in that interview, okay?
Creativeness and gumption.
This guy and I weren't besties by any means, but by the end of the week, we were holding conversations at events, which was something. Friends, this is where it gets real. Let's set the scene. We're in a large auditorium. It's the night of the talent show. Everything is about to start, so royalty is getting ready to sit down together as we were mandated to be friends. I'm standing, looking around for whatever reason, maybe trying to be involved in one of the conversations wrapping up around me. I can see the room so vividly. I turn to my left. The fraternity guy is standing there with a giant hand-decorated poster board that says something like, Katie, go with me to White Rose Formal.
Oh my God. Wait, this is romantic.
I know. I'm so cold stunned. My jaw may or may not be ajar. Did I just get asked to a frat party? Never have I ever. I glance up at the poster and homeboy is frantically shooing at me to sit down. Sit down, sit down, he says under his breath. For some reason, I oblige, still confuzzled. I look up from my seat from the left to the right. Immediately, I see her, my sorority sister, who also made it to Royalty Corp. Her name, Katie, or if we were following the rules of whoever cast The Bachelorette, Katie W. The embarrassment sat heavy on my chest.
Oh no.
I see her excitement. He assures that she was invited to formal, as I was obviously definitely not asked to attend. And I see his face, equally as excited that I was no longer standing in the way of his grand gesture. Everything happened so fast. I'm mortified. As they celebrate quite literally at my feet, picture a movie theater where two people in a row reunite in front of your seat and you're just hanging there trying to act invisible. I probably let out a singular chuckle at the sheer what the fuck realization the chain of events was real. This is my all-time favorite embarrassing story I've yet to have an occasion which to share until now. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time for me to take Scoot Marie on her evening stroll around the lake. With love, not ashamed to say my name is Katie in cabin 80.
Katie in cabin 80. That is embarrassing because you know they were at the front of the theater.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's so on him. Like, what are the odds? You know? And he absolutely didn't have to do it like that. And
He obviously can't control that either. It was just bad timing and bad seating arrangements. Like, I don't think it's really anybody's fault. But the fact that, like, this time is stopping and she's like, look at the stars and how they shine for you.
Literally-
He's like, shut up. Sit down, Katie. Sit down, bitch.
Literally, it was like a movie. She was like, I went from like middle of the road to top tier being basically proposed to in this day and age in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so who won? Did she say that she won, Queenie?
She didn't. And I don't know if she did. But I'm not going to assume. Maybe she did win, Queen.
Katie, we need an update. Did you win or not?
Well, Katie, you can be Camp Shady Birch's honorary Hoko Queen this year. Okay?
Yeah.
So Hoko Queen 2024, I know it's a little early in the season, goes to Katie. And you can take Sandwich to the White Rose Formal. Jonathan, do you have a scary story for us?
I do have a scary story. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Dear Zachariah and Jonathan. Our names are like really long if you really look at them.
It's because we're gay. We could have just called by Zach and John, but we're gay, so we have to say the full government.
First time writing in, and I love you guys and your content so much. I live and work in a remote mountain town, and my hometown is a 5-hour drive away, so I'm always queuing up your episodes as well as trail mix episodes, and I'm always howling down the highway when I visit back home. Love ya. Thanks for all the laughs.
Thank you.
Also, I just want to say, Kimberly J. Brown's Take a Hike was completely valid in episode 87. The hotel I work at has been renovating their rooms and indeed been removing bathtubs for stand-up showers that don't even close all the way. Yeah, what is up with that? We were just at a hotel 4 days ago, maybe 2 days ago, actually. And we had identical rooms with Kira and her husband, and they had a tubby time, and we didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. That was really weird, wasn't it?
Everything else is the same.
Also, when we were in the Catskills, we had one of those showers that there's a glass panel that comes out and it's an open door, but you can't close it. So the water's just spraying out onto the floor, and it's like supposed to look chic, but I think that's really stupid. Like, I need the door to close.
Water's just splattering everywhere. Like, let's figure it out. I'm fine with a curtain. It can be annoying, but like,
yeah,
it's just weird. Anyway, on to my spooky silly story. This might be a bit long, just FYI. So back when I was about 14 and 15 years old, I was in my sneaking out era. Did you ever have a sneaking out era?
Yes. And it was like 16, 17, 18.
How fun. Did you get into trouble?
Yeah, I think I was just kissing boys. Sorry, guys.
I was trying to be rebellious and edgy, as most 14-year-olds do. I was always doing it with one particular friend as well. Let's call her Sparkles. Our other friend, let's call her Scaredy. I love that word. We're just using like words as
Scaredy
names.
and Sparkles.
Scaredy needed some more convincing sometimes. Sparkles' bedroom at her parents' house was in the basement with one window that was easy to climb out of. Okay, so we're not climbing down the vine. We're just popping up out of the window well.
That seems way easier.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
also, I would be so scared to sleep in the basement.
Why?
I don't know. Because like I said this before, my basements have always been like spooktacular, and I've never had a finished basement. So I guess I would feel different if it was finished.
Yeah, because then it's just normal.
Yeah, I just can't relate.
The three of us were having a sleepover and snuck bottles of Jack Daniel's lemonade from her parents' garage
Ooh.
fridge into her room. Oh my God, that's like, okay, I'm
Those
going to
would be
stay
good
down
too.
here. You're going to toss them to me. I'm going to catch them and put them on the floor. We're going to put a blanket over them. If we hear any noises, you know the code word, haberdashery. And we hide those Jack Daniel's lemonades out of sight from freaking mom.
We are not visiting as a society the haberdashery enough.
Honestly, why no?
Go to the local boudoir.
Boudoir.
Go to the local boudoir, go to the local bazaar, and go to the local haberdashery and figure it out and buy something for yourself.
We were hatching and plotting a grand scheme to sneak out. We had no plan and no one to see, had nothing to do, honestly. But we were determined to do what? I still don't know. Maybe we would drink some awesome shooters, listen to awesome music, and just sit and soak up each other's awesomeness, which, by the way, camper, you can do from the safety of your own basement, but that's fine. Her parents are asleep. It is now 2 a.m. We decide it is go time, bitch. Scaredy was just really not into it, having a bad feeling, while Sparkles, who was actually a year older than us, was peer pressuring us. Basically, she was like, I'm just going to, hit up whoever to see if we can hang out, even if it's someone we just have homeroom with that we're not really friends with. Like, that does not sound like a
She
good
just
time
wants to
me.
vibe. She's like, let's get out of the house, let's stretch our legs, and let's just get creepy.
You just want to feel a thrill.
I get it.
I don't think she had a plan at all. We sneak out the window, drinks in our backpacks, and a little cash on us. And her house actually backed up into a big field that had a private Christian school on it. We run past this and across a main road into a parking lot with a strip mall and a coffee shop that's open 24 hours. We go inside, basically just following Sparkle's lead, and she's assuring us tonight is gonna be a movie.
That's kind of a great place to start off at. Like the local coffee shop that's 24 hours. They have trays of fresh donuts, maybe a coffee roll.
Yeah.
You get like a hot cocoa or something. You sit down and you go, what are we doing? Like, it's an easy space to like chill in and like figure it out.
Yeah, the internet cafe for
Exactly.
sure. Not really sure if the donuts are actually fresh, but they're there nonetheless.
No, they're fresh because if it's 24-hour bakery, they probably make them on site. And if you have a fresh donut, like a good homemade donut can be good for multiple days. It's because we've been scammed by these corporate donuts they're going dry after 8 hours. It's because it's not a real donut.
Ooh, she's assuring us it's gonna be a movie. Well, it turns into a horror movie really fast. After sitting inside for less than 20 minutes, we decide to leave with actually, again, no plan in place. Shocking. We exit and walk across the parking lot where there's a sidewalk entrance into another neighborhood. Oh my God, wait, camper, where are you from? Because this neighborhood is spelled like Neighbourhood. So she must be international. Love that. As we were walking to the parking lot, there is a light blue camper van driving slowly behind us.
Ew, ew, ew.
We barely look over our shoulders and it starts to follow a little bit closer. We speed up our walking a bit, feeling kind of spooked, and then it honks at us a few times and increases its speed. That's terrifying.
That's terrifying. Yeah, absolutely terrifying.
Scaredy yells, "Run!" and we start running away.
So scaredy.
The van continues to honk at us and speed up to us until we're running faster and faster and faster on the sidewalk. Oh, and then we turn into the neighborhood. The van stops, rolls down the window, and yelled something at us that we could not figure out. We couldn't see the face either. At this point, we're panicking, thinking we're about to be kidnapped. The van is now out of sight, and our bright idea is to hide behind some garage cans or on someone's driveway. We're listening closely, thinking that they're going to drive through the neighborhood to come find us. Sparkles and I are both messaging anyone with a car that we knew or an older sibling who had one. We refused to leave the spot for 2 hours. We sat there panicking and refusing to run into this van again. So it's 4:30 a.m. Scaredy has the bright idea to go knock on a door that has a light on in their living room, which is across the street from where we're hiding out.
What?
I know, like, what the fuck are you going to do?
Go home, guys. Getting a random stranger involved, you're like, ma'am, please.
I get it, though. It's kind of scary. Like, me and my friends were followed on a Halloween night, and it was when everybody else was inside. We should have been home, but we weren't, and it was really just the three of us. And one person was following us with like a pillowcase, and it sounded like cutlery inside the bag, and he was just following us from house to house and standing there. And I remember like knocking on the lady's door and like begging her to tell that man to go away, and she thought it was a prank, and she was like, happy Halloween. I was like, oh my god, this is how it happens in all the movies. I was bugging out. So
You're
like
so
I
funny.
get it, it's scary. We go over and knock. An older couple answers. These fucking geezers. We tell them what happened and ask them for a ride home. Looking back, I'm laughing at all this drama. Like, this was so extra of us. The lady agrees to do so, because what is she going to do? You know, if it were her kids or grandbabies, she would want someone to do the same for her.
Please, ma'am, take us home. Take us home, Grandma.
Then Sparkles has the even brighter idea to direct her to the exact address. The lady saw us go into the house, sneak into the window of the bedroom, and we were still distraught, but at least we were safe now and we could relax from the whole situation. 2 days later, Sparkles' mom shows up to my house to tell my mom what we did. As it turns out, the old geezer who drove us home had driven back to Sparkles' house and snitched on us to her mom.
Oh, what a bitch.
After that, Scaredy's mom found out, and we were forced to go down to the police station. Of course, Scaredy's mom is going to be like, to the station. We're making a report, bitches. But they didn't have a license plate number, so there was really nothing they could do. They wasted their time, they wasted the police time, and so on and so forth. Needless to say, I was banned from sleepovers for a while, and my parents were not fans of Sparkles anymore. Hope this made you giggle and reminisce on some of the stupid things we did at this age. Love you both. Thanks for the laughter and smiles. Oh, so wise, counselors. Signed, the underage drinker sneaking out of cabin 14.
I just like love that you got random people involved. Ma'am, please take us home. Like, that's so funny. That's so extra.
But truly think about if it was dark and quiet and you turned a corner and it was a van that was like following you and you saw them, like, that is spooky. That's scary. Like,
is
they were
scary.
just doing what they had to do.
I wonder if it was one of the kids they were hitting up. And they were like, hey.
Oh, that was really just trying to scare them?
No, I tried to get them, trying to get you, like, come over here. Like,
Oh.
it's us. Come.
No, because they didn't call till after the spooky situation. They were calling people to like hang out.
That's what I'm saying. So what if it was one of those people?
Oh, to be like, get in, we're hanging out, loser.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who
maybe.
knows? Or it
Who
could have been a
knows?
creep. It's always a blue camper van or a white camper. It's always a camper van. Ugh. Well, speaking of campers, thanks for being a camper and thanks for listening to Trail Mix. It's been another fantastic episode.
Yeah, if you have stories that you want us to read, go to camcounselorspodcast.com or send us an email at camcounselorspod@gmail.com. Guys, anything goes. If it's like your worst, craziest secret, we're not going to tell anybody who you are. We just need to hear it, okay? Make it juicy. Let's get some juicy stories going.
I love it. And with that being said,
Lights out, campers.